Pittsburgh studios at WHIG, it's Up Late with Sam Bass.
Thank you, Scott Smith, and good evening. Welcome to Up Late with Sam Bass. Great news, I'm happy to tell you we have managed to get Will Ferrell back. Right, the Will Ferrell, he's back. He is currently waiting in our brand new, paint still wet, Serve Pro Rocky Mount Tarboro green room. So the green paint's still green, it's still wet and green, I guess is the best way to put it, which is appropriate because that's the main color of their logo, green. So we're happy and very excited to have them as a sponsor. So thank you so much for providing us with a green room, Serve Pro. If it wasn't for you, we wouldn't have it. So we're very excited about that. Also on the show tonight, we have the Queen of Candi, the Candi Queen herself, Tamesha Lynch is here. You know, I got my big break in show business, kind of, when I wandered upon her filming for Food Network on Triple D Nation with Guy, and we're going to find out if it's Fieri or Frieri when she comes out. I think it's Fieri, but I don't think he likes being called Fieri or Fieri, but we'll find out. Sit tight. So it was a lot of fun. We both got to participate and watch it as they had a watch party out at the Rocky Mountain Mill. It was a really good time, good turnout. So we're very fortunate we've got her here. Hopefully she's going to bring some of her amazing candy apples, some of her other things like her candy-covered grapes. I love that stuff, but I want to ask her how she got the name as the Candi Queen and some other things about her past, so we're looking forward to that. So before we get to going with that, I want to talk about queens, not those kind of queens, but queens and real queens. You know, it's hard to believe it's been almost a year since the Queen passed away. The Queen of England passed away almost a year ago. So, you know, rumor has it that Prince Harry and Meghan Markle are not invited to any family gatherings. They kind of got kicked out of the family for their behavior. I understand why. And you know, I don't envy anybody that's in the royal family because every time you turn around, you know, they got paparazzi in their face. You know, people are snapping pictures, they're recording you. If you make a false move, it's going to be on camera. So I don't envy them. But, you know, the one part of the royal family I think probably would be pretty cool if you were one of the Queen's dogs, you know, the corgis she's got. You know, these dogs have it made. They have it made. They, you know, King Charles can have his luxury car collection and his royal jewels and all that. They can keep that stuff. But the dogs really have the life of luxury. You know, they, just think about it. They don't have to give speeches. They don't have to appear in public. They don't have to do any of that. They can bite whoever they want to bite. And if I were one of them, I could think of some people that need biting. So you're in for a treat tonight. I don't know what the Candi Queen brought us, but we're very excited about that. And part of that is tonight, we don't have a top 5 list like normal. We've got a top 10 list because there were so many options here. I just think, you know, we probably could have done a top 15, but we're doing the top 10 candies that sound like male exotic dancer names. Okay? Let me grab that. Number 10. This is a pretty obvious one. Mr. Goodbar. Number 9. Now this is one that's probably, I think it's from Canada or Australia maybe. Mars Triple X. I've never heard of that one, but that's definitely would work. Number 8. Hershey, here it is. Hershey's Special Dark. Need I say s'mores? Okay. I would take a bite, but I don't think I want to. And, you know, folks, I don't get this cheesy on my own. I have a lot of help with the writing. Number 7. Hot tamales. You know, I did have Mexican last night, so we'll see. Number 6. Payday. Making it rain, baby. Great name for a dancer. Number 5, this is an obvious one. Tootsie Rolls. Number 6, Hubba Bubba. I just like saying that one, it sounds pretty cool. Number 3, Bit of honey, you know what they say, a bit of honey make a whole lot of money? I thought they did. Okay. Number 2, Jolly Rancher. And the number 1 candy that sounds like a male exotic dancer is Sugar Daddy. Wait a minute, that's my stage name. So here's a few that were not so good that didn't make the list. So I'm going to tell, we'll talk about them anyhow. Whoppers, not going to work. Whatchamacallit, not too bad, but we're not going to go with that one either. Nestle's Chunky Bar. Now, this is the one that reminds me of, you remember the Saturday Night Live skit with Chris Farley where he was doing a dance-off with Patrick Swayze for the Chippendale thing? So that would be the Nestle's Chunky Bar. So, hey, speaking of Chris Farley, you know, one of his final skits on Saturday Night Live was when he did the whole Matt Foley thing, motivational speaker. One of my favorite skits, kind of next to the cowbell. We'll talk to Will about that too. But, you know, you remember the one, I live in a van down by the river? That one. So maybe we'll ask Will about what it's like to work with Chris Farley, or was like to work with him. So when he comes out, we're gonna talk to him about his relationship with Chris Farley, that kind of thing. But right now, Candi Queen is in the green room right now, the Servpro Rocky Mount Tarboro green room, getting ready too. So while we're waiting, let's get one email in if we can. I think I've got one. So it's, here it is. Okay, so this is a different email than we've been getting. It's not from the same lady, Pam Plays Pickleball. This one's from 19 grandkids in county at AOL.com. That email in itself says a lot. Okay, and it says, I just saw your episode with Benton Moss and I thought he did a great job. Okay, what about me, Grandma? You didn't say anything about me, but that's okay. I'll return to the email. He has accomplished quite a bit for a young man and he's a great role model, unlike you. It's kind of uncalled for. I never knew he was British though. He's not British, but you're referring to a part where he did a British accent. He mentioned something his father taught him called the circle of balance, which he used to help allocate his time between 3 different areas of his life: social, academic, and sports. Sam, I was wondering, what would your circle of balance be? It's actually pretty easy. It's like 98% bourbon and 2% ice, or maybe in this case, 100% bourbon and 0% ice. Anyway, we'll be right back with Will Ferrell. Sit tight. Wait a minute. He's eating a candy apple right now? Okay. What we're going to do, instead of bringing him out, we'll go ahead and bring out the Candi Queen, Tamesha Lynch, right after the break.
When you're the leader in disaster cleanup and restoration, how do you make like it never even happened happen? Let it rain, Randy! Woo! Yes! By being prepared for anything! Woo! Whatever comes your way, there's a pro for that.
Serve Pro, like it never even happened.
As promised, I've got her right here in person, ladies and gentlemen, the Candi Queen herself, Tamesha Lynch. And look at this desk. I'm going to take a line from Jackie Gleason and say how sweet it is, because it's going to be very sweet. I might get a cavity tonight, but that would be okay, I guess. So, how long have you been doing the whole Candi Queen and the sweets and stuff like that? And how did you get started?
So we've been in operation since 2019, and I think a lot of people kind of know the story because, you know, I talk about it because it's sentimental to me. In 2019, I had a breast cancer surgery, and I was unable to attend the fair. And you know how you get those cravings, and it's like you just can't get rid of it until you satisfy it?
That's right.
Fair was gone, and I said, I'm going to make my own candy apple. My grandmother and her friend used to make candy apples, but I couldn't quite remember the recipe. Watched a couple of videos on YouTube, and just had at it. I went downstairs and made me a candy apple, but I made too much. So my daughter took some to school, and the rest is history. She, was like, hey, they're buying your candy apples for $1. I was like, what? Are you serious? I was like, hey, and the rest is history.
So the Candy Queen was born.
The Candy Queen was born, yes.
So so you got the recipe from your grandmother. Where did she get it from? Did she just make them at home for fun? Or?
They made them. They sold them. They used to participate in the Harambe Festival back in the early 90s, and the Down East Festival we used to have downtown Rocky Mount. My grandmother Shirley and her friend Diane would just make them and sell them, to whomever wanted them, But they did it in the fall. They didn't do it, year round like I do it. I had to figure out a way to be able to, appeal to the masses 24/7, just year round, all 4 seasons.
Well, I can remember the first time there was a food truck radio on Rocky Mountain. I was walking around and I saw your truck, and it has a lot of eye appeal.
Yes.
So, it kind of drew me in, and I got to talking to you a little bit. I'm like, I've never seen a candy truck before. Candy and slushies is your thing. And I hear you were like kind of the first food truck that was doing the slushies and stuff. Yeah, the slushies and the candy grapes and the, other candied fruit items that we do. The candy grapes, that's the first thing I ever had because I had never heard of it. Yeah. And I remember I took it back to work and I let people at work try it, and they were like, oh my God, this is so good. It's different. Yeah, and I took some to my wife and daughter, and everybody puts it in their mouth, and oh my God, what is this? Because I've never heard of that. Where did you come up with that at? Well, my husband found a person, the originator, a treat company out of Atlanta, Georgia. He saw it on Instagram, and he showed it to me, and I was like, I don't think that would work. But I remembered my grandmother, again, back to her, she used to take grapes, and she would toss them around in sugar and freeze them. And we would eat it at Christmas time. And so I was like, you know what? Let me sleep on it. And I tried it, and it was amazing. It's like an explosion in the mouth, right? It really is. Yeah. And I love them. And thank you for bringing some. Yes. There they are. So I also hear that you're a food truck consultant. You kind of help other entrepreneurs get into what you're doing. I do. Tell me something about that. And that was, kind of by accident as well. Around the same time when I was fabricating my truck and putting my business together, we have a little treat community on Facebook. And I had, posted that we purchased the truck. And I had several people to reach out. But I had this one person in particular. It's called the Sweet Spots in Greensboro. And very nice young lady. And I decided to, help her while I'm helping myself along this venture. And found out I was kind of good at it. And so I just started to, kind of give advice to other food truckers. And they was like, okay, well, how did you know this and you're just starting? So I prayed about it before I added that to my repertoire. Took a couple of consulting classes online. Was a part of the Lunch Raleigh program, and I, relied on my husband for all of the pep talks and you can do it speeches, and just decided to add that to a part of our business model as well. To date, we have about 5 food trucks, including Swerving and Serving. Shout out to them. Yeah. And we're currently helping Big Boys Barbecue. I think they were the winners of your competition. He won at the Small Business Celebration, the People's Choice. Right. And I went over there and tried it, and I'm ready for him to set up somewhere nearby where I can get something that's really good for me. Yes, most definitely. But, it's not due to... It's not for a monetary gain. It's just something that I like. I love to help people. And so what other way to incorporate, my love and my passion for helping people than to help them discover their true talents and see their dreams come to fruition. So that's why I do it, Good deal. That's great that you do that, because I know I deal with some food trucks, and a lot of them need help. And I think you had told me a while back that they all kind of need to go through the Launch Rocky Mount program. They do. To kind of get an idea of running a small business. Right. So what do you think if I had a donut truck and I called it Go Nuts? Well, it's not bad, thinking, just off the cuff like that. But you got to be careful, because you're going to have those people who are sensitive and have food allergies that may stay away. So I would help you, hone in on a catchy name and, bring it all together. Can't be much catchier than the Candy Queen. And I'm going to tell you how I got that name. My husband calls me his queen, of course. And when I made the candy apple for the first time, and it had that glass look, and my daughter actually sold them for money, he was like, you are the queen of candy.
So
It
that's how it started. So all thanks to my husband.
So another interesting part of our story is how I ran into you at the beach that day.
Yes.
So I want to tell the story. I had gone down to the beach. I saw the Candy Queen truck, and I told my wife, I said, look, hey, the Candy Queen's down here. So I took my wife over to our place, and I said, I'm going to go out and get a cup of coffee. And I ran through the parking lot, and I didn't see anybody in line. I'm like, there was some different white vans and stuff, and all these guys with the same color T-shirts. And I'm like, what is going on here? So I rode through. I went and got my coffee. I said, I'm going to come back through. And so I got out of the car, and I'm walking up there, and these guys are saying, hey, sir, she's not serving. But then you saw me.
So that's my friend Sam. Bring him over.
Exactly.
Yes.
So I stumbled upon being on a Food Network TV show with this lady on Triple D Nation. I don't know what the difference is. Triple D Nation and Diners, Drive-Ins, and Dives. They're kind of the same thing.
They are. So Triple D Nation is, the show is multi-pronged. So Triple D Nation is kind of their repeat show. It's all diner, drive-ins, and dives. But Triple D Nation has developed into something where, he will frequent that, a business back in a couple of years to see the growth and the Triple D effect, which is also real.
Yeah. Well, I actually witnessed them painting the Guy 8 here on your truck.
Yes, that was wild. Wasn't it wild?
It was. And I took a picture of it as it was sitting there, not knowing they were going to do that.
Right.
And then after I got through, they interviewed me on a couple of little segments there, and I got to watch them paint the little stencil on there, which was really cool. Yeah. So I probably have the last picture of your truck before that went on there.
Well, that's going to be valuable one day, Sam.
I'm going to save that thing for future reference. So what was it like? Is it Fieri or Fietti?
It's Fietti.
Okay, but I understand he gets mad if you call him Fieri.
Fieri, yes, he does.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, but we won't call him that tonight. But we have called him Fieri before.
Everyone has.
Yeah. Well, that's how it's spelled. So what was it like shooting with him?
It was an outer body experience. Not only did we shoot with him, my husband, Andre, and my uncle, Marcel, we had an opportunity to cater the family for the family reunion.
Oh, yeah, I did see that episode.
Yeah, and we sat down with his cousin, all his cousins, his mom, his children, his wife, and it was an outer body experience. I was like, am I really here? But we had a great conversation. We were able to take a couple of his shots of tequila that he has with Sammy Hagar at the Santos Tequila. Yeah. And he just opened up different channels in my brain, in my mind. And I knew that, this was an opportunity that a lot of food entrepreneurs don't get, right? Yeah. And so I just wanted to take that time to really take it all in and just bask in it, because that's amazing. I had only been in business 2 years at the point when we met him, and they found us from visiting a food truck festival down in Atlantic Beach that April. His family had came to the truck, and they told Guy about us. So it was just a blessing. It's still kind of surreal to this day, but he's an awesome guy. It
seemed like when you guys were talking, you had instant chemistry.
We did.
I mean, he loved you, I could tell.
Yeah. He loves authenticity, right?
And you're very authentic.
Yeah, I am who I am. I think when I blurted out, let me find out, Guy, he was like, oh my God, did she say that?
That was a great moment.
I said, did I just say that? But, he appreciates authenticity, and he loves the mom and pop food entrepreneurs. I didn't realize that he had, challenged major food companies like ConAgra, Coca-Cola, even Amazon back during the pandemic. He charged them, hey, why don't you just give, me $1 million so that I can disperse out a piece now, okay? So I can disperse out to those mom and pop shops, to those undocumented workers that work in restaurants that can't go to work during the pandemic. And so many people were able to benefit off of that. And it just really showed his true love of not just the food industry, but for those that, are just ordinary people working every day, trying to feed their families. And that says a lot about him.
Well, I also say, you were sharing how you make some of your slushies with him. Now you have the candy down in your slushies. Yeah. Is there ever a time where you've seen somebody take a slushie and maybe pour a little vodka in there with it?
Yeah, and we're always asked, does this have alcohol? I'm like, oh, we wish, ABC regulations won't let us be great, but we have seen people do that. Yeah, I love to see that.
So do you have like secret ingredients and secret recipes that you don't share with anybody?
We do. And we're not sharing it tonight.
Come on. We can make breaking news tonight and get a secret. It'd be like Colonel Sanders giving up the Kentucky Fried Chicken recipe tonight.
Well, I'll say this. I rode with my husband here tonight, and I don't think I would have a ride home if I told that. So
Okay, in that case, we won't do it.
Right.
So, since all this stuff happened with Guy, I know it's opened a lot of doors for
It
you.
has.
Tell me a little bit about that. We've talked some about it in the past, but tell me what's going on with it.
So we have a website now. That was the age-old question before we, had the show. Do you have a website? Do you ship apples? So we have discovered the e-commerce space, which is an amazing space to be in, by the way. I highly recommend food entrepreneurs that have items that they can ship to offer that as a service. That's an additional source of revenue for the business. We have gotten into events that we probably would not have gotten into before. We are vendors at the Carolina Classic Fair down in Winston-Salem. And shout out to the North Carolina State Fair. We're hoping that we get into that venue as well.
They're fools if they don't let you. So you called me one time about getting into something they had over there at the state, because somebody from the fairgrounds called me to get a reference on you.
Yeah, that was the Got to Be NC Festival. And
Right.
thank you for that glowing
That's
recommendation.
She's like, honest.
Yeah, she's like, I've never had anyone give a vendor such a glowing recommendation. I said, that's my friend.
Well, yeah, I really believe in you, and I love your product.
Thank you.
So the state fair is your next goal to be there, and somebody that's been on Triple D Nation on the Food Network. Why wouldn't they have you on there? I mean, I would be honored to have you out there.
Yeah.
As if I were them.
Right. Well, I think it's more of a spacing thing. And then with the pandemic, the landscape of our, environment is totally different. So do you remember when they had the fair food event where you could drive up and get your own fair food?
I remember that.
So they let those vendors in along with some other vendors. And so now they're kind of like over capacity. So we're just going to keep applying. They're going to get tired of me, so they'll let me in eventually.
You always know if there's anything we can do to help you.
Yes, of course.
We'll certainly do that. So what's next for the Candy Queen?
Well, I have charged some of my family members with opening a Candy Queen in each state. I have a son in Phoenix. I have an uncle in Atlanta, an uncle in Florida, and we are having conversations about, franchising and how that looks and how to structure that. So that's another service that I'll be able to offer as a consultant once we nail that down. But we're going to grow. It's up from here.
Are there any plans for a brick and mortar?
There are plans for a brick and mortar. I would love for my first location to be in Rocky Mount. I have talked with Alan. He is amazing.
Alan Matthews is
yes,
talking about.
Alan is amazing. I've met with Benton.
Yeah.
Benton Moss.
Great guy.
Great
we
guy.
had him on the show.
Oh, awesome. Great guy. I was in the corporate America world up until recently, and I prayed to God to, make some things happen, and I have stepped out on faith, and so I am a 100% full-time food trucker now.
Okay.
So we're going to just grow it. Sky's the limit.
Well, that is great, and I'm excited for you.
Yes.
You're a great person.
Thank
You're a
you.
good friend. We've gotten to be friends just from a relationship with the Chamber of Commerce.
Yep.
And I wish you the very best.
Thank you.
In everything you do, and I know you're going to be great on everything you do.
Thank you.
And really appreciate you taking the time to come on here and visit with us tonight.
Right. Thank you.
And hopefully we'll get you to come back on sometime soon.
Always. Anything for you, Sam.
I appreciate
Anything
that.
for you.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
The Candy Queen herself, Tamesha Lynch. If you see her truck anywhere, run it down. You will not be sorry.
Eat more treats.
We'll be right back.
When you're the leader in disaster cleanup and restoration, how do you make like it never even happened happen? Let it rain, Randy! Woo! Yes! By being prepared for anything! Woo! Whatever comes your way, there's a pro for that.
Serve Pro, like it never even happened.
Well, folks, it's happened again. We've run out of time. I spent too much time speaking with a good friend. We've run over again. We're not going to have time to get Will Farrell out here tonight, but he's probably back in the Serve Pro green room right now in a candy coma. He's been eating candy apples like they're going out of style. So maybe my people can get in touch with his people and we can make it happen. We'll see in a future episode. But Thank you for watching. As always, WHIG, 10 o'clock on Thursday nights. Next episode, we will have Denise Watkins of Skyview Skateland. She's celebrating her 45th anniversary. You don't want to miss that episode, so tune in.